Hello, it's Burgess Taylor, and today is Writer Wednesday. In this video, you will see me doing my doodling. Actually, it's going to be that way. This way? This way. It's going to be right over here, which is why I'm kind of over to the side. But since it's Writer Wednesday, you see my typewriter in the background. We're going to talk about writer tools, which is why you're going to see this. Let's get started. For those of you who have been thinking about Camp NaNoWriMo and what tools you need, I decided to go about creating some of the list of tools in just a little bit different way. I thought it might be fun to show you my writer tools. So one of the things I use is the notebook. Now, as some of you know, I didn't do all the details for this, but this is my writer bullet journal writer notebook. You see me coloring in the coffee pot. It's actually a French press, I believe. I don't have one of those, but I thought it looked cute. And I wrote down these doodles. I thought they were really cute. I liked how it looked, and I used the mild liners because they're easy on the Leuchtturm paper. I should have got my watercolors out, but I kind of wanted to just play around with some markers. So the next thing I'm coloring is a paper clip, and I don't have gold paper clips. I don't think. I might, but I thought doing it in a little bit different would be kind of cute. I have different colored paper clips. So all these things are just little doodads that I think are sort of some tools that you don't really think about on a regular basis. Now, you might think about the notebook and the pens, the thumb drive, the laptop, the desktop, ink. The light bulb is for ideas, the candle, that's sort of a ritual thing. An open book, this glasses, you know, coffee and alarm clock. And I put two books over there on the right-hand side, The Tarot for Writers by Corinne Kenner and The Archetype Cards by Carolyn Miss, I think is how you say her name. Not really too sure. But while I'm doodling over here, I thought I'd do a little bit of a coffee chat. I have an accompanying blog post for this about my journey with tarot and writing. I can't believe it's been since October of 2015 that I have been using tarot for writing. I started with Arwen's video that I watched, and all of this is in my blog post, much more detailed about character sketches and tarot, and then I got hooked. So I did research. I watched some more of her videos about writing and tarot, and I ordered her class. I started 33 days to finish her novel, and that was it. I was hooked. I ended up buying Tarot for Writers. I now have Astrology for Writers by Corinne Kenner. I have the Archetype cards and Tarot cards and Oracle cards. And I have pre-ordered Tarot for Writers block. I think that's what it's called. It's coming out at the very end of this month. As soon as I get it, I will let y'all know, and I will do a review. So I'm really excited about that, like super excited about that. But I thought, you know, this would be a really good way to kind of get the ball rolling with my journey. I've learned so very much about my writing, and I've gone from being a pantser to being a planner, enjoying the outline process. Now when I get a little stuck, I pull a card. I look at the card. Sometimes it gives me an idea for setting. Sometimes it gives me an idea for character. Sometimes it gives me an idea for a plot twist, or maybe a subplot, or maybe the B story. It doesn't matter what it gives me an idea for. It opens up my imagination. It opens the door to my imagination, and creativity blooms, usually when I do that. Now, sometimes, no matter how hard I try, I get a little stuck, which is why I pre-ordered Tarot for Writer's block. I thought that would be a really good way to get some things going with my writing, just in case. It's a good book to have over to the side during Camp NaNoWriMo. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about storytelling or writing with tarot outside of actually pulling cards. Now, I'm going to do another video. I need to film it and do some of the process about how I actually do this stuff. I'm going to do the archetype cards. I will be doing that later today, and that will come out this evening. I'm going to pull some of the archetype cards, and I'm going to do a character sketch and profile. But for now, this is part 1 of Writer Wednesday for Camp NaNoWriMo. You're actually going to get 2 videos. So tarot can help you come up with an idea for your story. Tarot can help you achieve different things with it. Like maybe you can pull the number of key events, like these key core conflict events, like those major plot points. It can give you the number of how many characters. A lot of cards have numbers. They actually have numbers on them, and you can pull a card and get the number. You could also pull the card for plot twists, like I said, to shape the novel, to get a theme for your novel, to pick the genre for your novel, to pick your acts, what they're mainly going to be about, because your acts are sort of, in all novels, you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Now, one of the things about like the hero's journey is that whenever you're talking about the hero's journey, I'm actually going to give you the proper information. I'm not going to just give it to you off the top of my head. Act 1 would be departure and separation. So it's leaving your ordinary world and going into the special world. Act 2 would be the descent and the initiation and stuff. So Act 1 is sort of the setup. Act 2 is sort of the conflict. And Act 3 is the return or the resolution. So like I said, you have beginning, middle, and end. Well, with that, you also have the beginning, the middle, and end for chapters. Each chapter starts, has a beginning, has a middle, has an end, depending on how many scenes and things you have. So you have, like I said, you have your setup, your conflict, your resolution. During that chapter, you can pull cards to find out what those are. You can use cards to help you with the plot devices. You can use cards to help you with fleshing out your characters, or fleshing out your characters. You can use the cards to give you your characters' goals, their motivations. You can use the cards to help you figure out their age, their personality traits, what career they have, some of their mannerisms, and definitely their core strengths and weaknesses. You can use the cards to help you with setting. The imagery and the background of tarot cards is amazing. Some of these cards, oh, they're just so beautiful. Even the Rider-Waite tarot card, if you have noticed, if you've ever seen any of them, so a lot of their backgrounds are landscapes. Suburban and urban, like, you know, I mean, you've got little cities and towns and the mountains and the ocean and all kinds of things for backgrounds. They're gorgeous, but it can help you with your setting. Now, the whole kind of point to using tarot with writing for me is not for divination, although you can use tarot for divination. Many people do, but to open up the door to my imagination. When I look at the card, I oftentimes will pull that same card with other tarot decks. I'll pull that same card from various tarot decks. I'm going to show you a little bit of that in this evening's video, probably tonight's video if I'm honest. But I'll show you some more of that, because what I'll do is I'll pull a card, and I pull it from the Rider-Waite deck usually, and then I go through the other decks of cards, like the Wizard Tarot, and maybe the Hobbit Tarot, and the Supernatural Tarot, and the Fairy Tarot. I have quite a few other decks. I have a English Magic Tarot, so there are quite a few other ones. But in the Enchanted Tarot, but I enjoy those. I enjoy looking at them. And what I usually do is pull them from the various decks, like I said, and then I look at the different images. And usually I get an overall sense of what that card is saying to me, what that card means to me. And a lot of that has to do with intuition. A lot of that has to do with imagery, what the symbolism to me feels like. And what I have for a mental image in my head of, say, a character or a setting, and then the conflict pops up in my head, and I use my imagination for that. Now, another thing that I think is really awesome about using tarot for writing, I'm not the only person. It makes me feel good. I'm not so alone that has used tarot for inspiration. Stephen King used tarot in The Dark Tower. It's apparent because in, like, I think it's the second or the third Dark Tower series book, The Drawing of Three and The Wastelands, one or the other, I can't remember which, but it has where it says shuffle and reshuffle, has like the chapters, some of the subtext in those say shuffle and reshuffle. And then the man in black, he pulls tarot cards and he gives Roland these cards, and three of the ones that he pulls are the drawing of the three, thus the name of that book. And the first card is called The Prisoner, and that ends up being Eddie Dean. So John Steinbeck, Stephen King, like I said, Piers Anthony actually wrote a book. He's a sci-fi kind of fantasy writer, and he wrote a book called Tarot. He actually kind of created his own tarot deck. I don't know if there's a physical copy. I looked, but I couldn't find one. But I did notice that reading the book, he has like tarot cards, and it's called Tarot, but it's fiction. So, like I said, on my journey, I've gotten other books, astrology for writers. I'm waiting on the writer's block, the tarot for writer's block. So I'm excited about some of this. I will share more of this during Camp NaNoWriMo. I will actually do a review of tarot for writer's block. Once it comes in, I'll do a flip through and do a review, tell you what I think about it. I'll do an unboxing video and tell you what I think about it right then. And I'll also do a video about astrology for writers. A little bit more, you know, I'll do that pretty soon. But that's by the same author who did tarot for writers. So I also have her Wizard tarot deck and the book that comes with it, and that is freaking awesome. So I'm almost finished with this Doodle stuff. But so I'm going to close up with letting you know that these things all but, well, the French roast is symbolized as coffee. I have a bun coffee maker. So all of these other things, and including coffee, but just not that way, I actually use on a regular basis for NaNoWriMo events. I will be talking about the archetype cards, like I said, in the one for later today. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you, and have a great one. I'll see you again soon. Bye.